All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you've had a great day. Uh, Thanks to all my subs, members, everybody just watched the channel. Trying to get to 25,000 by the end of the year. I got I think about 2 weeks left. But anyway, my goal is try to get to 25,000 subs by the end of the year. I'm at 24.2, I think. So would love to have you as a sub if you're new to the channel. All right, so I wasn't going to do a Summer Wells video today, but I got to looking at this news headline and got sucked into it. It's a News Nation news video about Casey Anthony, and I was talking about Casey. I've done a Casey Anthony video, or actually two of them recently. Had no idea that she was going to blow back up in the news. Had no idea about that. But anyway, apparently Casey Anthony is relevant again in the news, and they are interviewing her former bodyguard, and he's talking about Casey Anthony being like the biggest liar. You know what I mean? Just a horrendous liar. And as I got to watching this news interview with Casey Anthony's former bodyguard, I was just like, every time that they would hit on something, I'm like, that sounds like the Summer Wells case. That sounds like Don and Candus. Good God, that sounds just like Don and Candus. Probably more Don than Candus, but you know, you get where I'm coming from. So, without further ado, let's get into this, and I'll do some commentary on it. You might need to turn your. I hope you don't have to turn your volume up, but I'll turn it up on my end as loud as I can get it.
Of 8 days in that house where none of us got to see anything. I mean, these people were in hiding because of the mob scene that had gathered outside that house. But you were inside, and you came away from that 8 days literally in close proximity with the Anthony family, believing it was impossible that child died in the pool, and that the Anthony's, George and Cindy, knew it all along.
Oh, 100%. I mean, from the point of the first night, you know, she's in custody 30 days, so she's not able to find out what's going on, you know, where are they at on the searches, what has come in, what have calls have happened. And there was no discussion of that. She never asked. She never cared about the search for her missing daughter. George was the one that was out there putting up flyers and trying to contact people.
All right, right there. I mean, during almost this entire Summer Wells case, when he said that, all I could think of is Don and Candus haven't done nothing, you know, as far as putting up flyers or anything like that. That's the first thing that kind of stuck out to me, that you know, I could relate to the Summer Wells case. You know, Don and Candus hadn't really done anything till recently, you know, no, as far as I know, no, you know, no flyers or anything like that until recently. So that's the first thing that kind of stuck out to me.
What was the first thing Casey said when she came home? The night she literally left jail and walked into that home of George and Cindy's.
Yeah, it's a silent ride with her and Baez and another attorney. We pull into the garage. It's very emotional. You know, Cindy's crying. She rushes up and hugs her. You know, you'd expect the mother to be, okay, where are we at? What's going on? What have you heard? None of that. The very first words out of Casey's mouth was, what's for dinner?
All right, there's the other thing that kind of, you know, I could compare with the Summer Wells case. You know, Casey got out of jail and was more concerned about what was for dinner instead of her daughter, you know, her missing daughter. Y'all remember when Don got out of jail? Allegedly, it seemed like he was more concerned with, you know, hitting the bottle again, and from what we kind of understand, allegedly getting back into the same old domestic stuff with Candus again, instead of trying to find their daughter. You know, they just got back to drinking and the old domestic way of life, their domestic, you know, and that's the other thing that, you know, I was like, holy crap, this sounds just like Summer's case. Let's listen some more.
jail food sucks.
She didn't ask what's happening with the search for Kaylee. She showed no concern about where the status was of the missing child.
She never asked the status.
I want to know something here. When's the last time Don and Candus asked the status of Summer's investigation? I'd love to know that right now. When's the last time Don and Candus asked where police stand with the status of Summer's investigation? Just wondering.
How often did George and Cindy bring up the status of the missing child?
Well, it was kind of set up through Baez that nobody was supposed to question her or talk. The problem is Casey can't keep her mouth shut either. So there's conversation.
Woo! Casey can't keep her mouth shut either. Who's that sound like? Sounds to me like Don Wells.
But it's not really a questioning. It's kind of more like, under Cindy's rule, let her tell the story, let her bring up whatever, and just kind of a little bit of back and forth. So there's not a lot that's out there about, a missing child, which, again, isn't normal.
Did you have any kind of conversations with her while you were in that home?
Yeah, there's normal talk. Baez wanted no communication, and he laid out ground rules, even with George and Cindy, that nobody's supposed to talk unless he's in the room. He has to be privy to everything. But again, Casey can't help but kind of be the star of the show.
Whoa! Let's listen to that again, because that's Don Wells right there. You got Tim Mullins not wanting Don and Candus to basically, he's their media manager. But I'm sure there's people that don't want Don and Candus talking, but yet Don's got to be the star of the show, just like he said here. Casey has to be the star of the show, and went against by her attorneys. She's got to run her mouth like Don Wells. Let's take a listen to that again.
Talk unless he's in the room. He has to be privy to everything. But again, Casey can't help but kind of be the star of the show. But again, Casey can't help but kind of be the star of the show.
Sound like Don Wells? I'm just saying.
And she's going to talk. She's going to talk about, anything that's on TV at that time, things that were coming out in the news. She'd make comments about. And, it's just frustrating from the outside of, I'm just sitting there to take care of the bond and make sure nothing happens. But you really see a different side of seeing the family interact.
Can I ask you, in covering the case and being immersed in it and being in that courtroom every single day for that entire trial, I came out with the impression that Casey is one of the most exquisite liars I've ever come across.
Well, Don Wells is probably one of the most exquisite liars that I've ever come across. Another similarity between this news interview and the Summer Wells case. Just saying.
And I wondered if you got the same impression.
Oh, and Candus too.
And if there were any kind of specific anecdotes from just remarkable lying and maybe forgetting about what lies she's told and which ones she hasn't. If you have any examples.
I think the amazing thing was that she lies for no reason. So, most people might lie to cover up something or not, be found out about something, but she was lying her whole life. And she kind of lived in this fantasy world where I don't believe she's that great of a liar. I just believe that she's lied for so long, she had a grab bag of lies to pull out whenever.
Wow. Kind of sounds like Don Wells, don't it, guys? Wonder if Don's lied his whole life. In my opinion, I think he has. I mean, are they talking about Casey Anthony or are they talking about Don Wells? Just saying.
And that's what was so confusing, I think, from the investigation standpoint. Because, she had named people that didn't exist, but people had heard these names forever. But at the same time, because she lies so much, she's also not good at keeping track of it. And she can contradict herself, numerous times, even all.
Don and Candus kind of contradicted themselves numerous times, hadn't they? Again, are we talking about Casey Anthony? Are we talking about Don and Candus?
All the way up to today. The main one that we saw was in one of the bringing her from Baez's office back to the house. She had stated one day that, oh, I'm so full. I had all these wings because, the media was trying to buy lunch and trying to kind of get in with the Baez team to try to get possibly an interview or some insight. And so they were, buying meals and turning them in, for them to eat at lunch. And Baez was always counseling her that she's not coming off with the emotion in front of us, in front of the family, and to the public of a missing child's mother. So the very next day, on the way back to Baez, she's acting like she doesn't feel good. She says her stomach hurts, and I ask her what's wrong. And she says, oh, I just, been sick these last couple of days. I can't eat. I'm so worried about her. And it's like you're sitting here thinking, you don't remember the conversation on the ride yesterday that you said you were so full from eating?
Now, who does that sound like? I mean, Don and Candus haven't really acted, in my opinion, like parents of a missing child. Just like, they were saying that, just like, Casey Anthony's attorney was telling her, hey, you're not coming across as someone who's missing a kid. You need to, act more concerned. Act like a mother who's missing their child. Act like a mother whose child's missing. It's probably what Casey Anthony's attorney told her. And then she started, putting on the show, in my opinion. Again, Don and Candus, for the majority of the investigation, in my opinion, haven't really really showed any concern about Summer. I mean, you had Candus when Dawn was in jail, cutting the rug and showing her ass. And of course, Dawn out of jail, constantly showing his ass on YouTube, dropping the N-word, calling people names, just not acting like they've got a kid missing. Until recently, you got some Yangers that gotten involved, gotten involved with Don and Candus, and are probably telling them, hey, we can help you look, we can help you make it look like you're parents of a missing child if you just let us help you. Hence, Christmas tree, tents, with pictures of missing kids at rodeos. You see where I'm going. But anyway, guys, I wasn't going to make a Summer Wells video. I guess this is a combination of a Summer Wells video and Casey Anthony video. I just happened to watch this, and that's all I was going to do is just watch it. I had no idea Casey Anthony was going to be back in the news like she has been. So I thought, well, 19 hours ago, they interviewed her former bodyguard. Let's see what he's got to say, right? And, man, had no idea how close everything he said would compare to, like, Don and Candus and the Summer Wells investigation. Had no idea. And at that point, I was like, I guess I am making a Summer Wells video. So here it is, guys. Here it is. I know there's going to be a lot of comments on this. Let me know what you think. I think this is a good episode here. I mean, this is just one that just popped out of the blue. I wasn't, like I said, I had no intentions of making a Summer Wells video today. I was going to do something else. Because obviously there's nothing new in it. But when you watch something like this, and there's so many points in this news interview that compare to Summer's case and Don and Candus, I was just like, are they talking about Casey Anthony or are they talking about Don and Candus? Shit. So anyway, Let me know if you think I hit the nail on the head again, guys. Drop some comments below. Thank you for all the support. You know, it's been a great year. Again, I'm trying to get 25,000 subs by the end of the year. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But and if you're new to the channel, would love to have you as a sub. Start dropping those comments. Tell me what you think. And let me know if you think I hit the nail on the head again. And I'll see you guys on the next video.